Hi everyone, happy Tuesday. Good morning to you. I'm coming on here to share some of my tips and tricks that kind of help me get through the winter seasonal depression. I myself kind of go through some phases of seasonal depression, not just in the wintertime, but kind of throughout. But I also just kind of struggle with mental health myself just in general. And these tips really kind of help me when I'm having a bad day or just feeling down and I kind of need some reflection for myself and kind of understand how I feel and what makes me feel better and what helps me make me feel better. So, first tip I have for you is basically light therapy. This is kind of mainly for the winter months in some way, but honestly, I use light therapy all the time. I have a salt lamp here at my house, and I also just ordered a dawn simulator off of Amazon, where it's kind of like a light alarm clock. Now, naturally, I tend to wake up as it is pretty easily on my own without an alarm, but I really want to use this light therapy just to kind of wake myself up and feel like I'm in the summertime all the time when the sun is just shining through. Because the winter, even though the sun comes out, my bedroom doesn't have a window because I have a studio. So I think it'll be really beneficial to kind of just help me naturally wake up a little bit better, a little bit easier, and kind of in a better mood because I'm seeing some light. Granted, it's not natural sunlight, but this dawn simulator does a really good job of bringing and giving that feel of natural light. So I'm really excited to try it. So I'm ready for it to be here. My next tip, this is kind of like a general overall one, especially for the wintertime. I need to do this a lot myself, is to make sure I'm scheduling and making plans, social activities with people to get me out of my house and kind of outdoors and moving. Just one, so I can talk to people, because that really is kind of a big important factor for me mentally. And two, it gets me outdoors instead of staying in kind of like my comfort space. Granted, it makes me feel safe and nice, but sometimes I can also feel really trapped and used to what I am used to. And hanging out and going out with friends and family just definitely makes me feel so much better and more happy and excited than just sitting here in my apartment. My next one is kind of same way, getting outdoors, but this one's with exercise. If you can, obviously the winter months are pretty hard because snow and ice, so it kind of makes it difficult to get outside and exercise. But I think it's really important during the winter season, if you have time, I would highly suggest just walking or running outside, because one, you get that good source of vitamin D and you're getting some fresh air and activity outside. Again, rather than inside where it's like, I don't want to say dungeon, but it kind of is just, there's no natural light all the time. And getting outside and getting that fresh air, I tell you, it just makes you feel better. It really does. So get outside while you can now before the snow comes, and just walk outside, run outside, do anything outside. My next one is doing something vocational. So for me, this is writing or even reading some sort of gratitude journal or book. So I tend to do this a lot because it really makes me appreciate what I have in life, especially during the winter season. It makes me realize that even though it's cold and gloomy and just not a lot of sun in the wintertime, having something to write down what I'm thankful for, what I appreciate in my life, what I really like about what I'm doing so far in my life, it brings me a sense of happiness and fulfillment, because I'm still accomplishing things and getting out and about even in the wintertime when you don't really tend to want to. So I tell you, gratitude journal is really beneficial. Just writing things that you're grateful for, that you're happy about, anything. This is really good emotionally too, just to kind of write down your feelings and kind of let them out on a piece of paper rather than flooding around in your head, especially during the winter time, because if I get congested up here with all my thoughts, it doesn't really end well for me. So if I write it down and put it away, put it aside, it makes me feel a lot better. My last tip is kind of just in general, if you can't get outside, you got to get the vitamin D in some source somewhere else. So I suggest foods like salmon, tuna, some egg yolks. Vitamin D will really make you feel better. And if you can't get outside, get it in your food. So those are a few tips and tricks to help kind of get through the winter seasonal depression, or kind of just overall, because like I said earlier, I go through phases no matter what season it is. And these tips in general help with my mental health just all around. So hopefully these can kind of help you as well. Give them a shot, give them a try, and let me know, because these help me and I hope they can help you. Anyways, have a great Tuesday and great rest of your week. Bye, everyone.